Welcome to the channel. I'm Xena, the lone developer at Ivory Immersions. Game development is more of a hobby of mine, but I hope to grow it into something more, and so the sites I use will mostly be implemented as a portfolio for my projects. However, that's not to say I don't have help, as both the internet and friends are a great resource for coding issues and for brainstorming. Art has always been a pursuit of mine, starting from my younger years, and eventually leapt in quality once I began working digitally. I still do analog pieces here and there, but I consider my best works to be created on the computer, later leading into pixel art. As for music, I have been composing for several years, starting my studies as a musician, playing both flute and piano. Most of my early pieces were spent with a notebook at my piano, testing each note and measure painstakingly. Since the late 2010s, however, I began using MuseScore, a digital program, on my laptops and, later, Maestro on my phones. I got into the game creation field back in high school when my coding class instructed us to make a text-based game, as well as a few probability games like Pig or Coin Flips. For a few years, though, I was stagnant until I got into Unity, though that was mostly used to create maps for envisioning my stories, which I piecemealed together to create the lore for my game. Once I found Deguka's RPG Maker software, however, the game developer bug sunk its teeth in, and I began cycling through concepts until I settled on my current one, taking nearly a year to do so. Finally, while I do create many pieces for my games, most of the resources I use are either bought or found as free use with attribution, to ensure I do not overwhelm myself too much in the development process. My game's working title used to be The Fairyglade, but right now I am planning on calling it Rahalia, after the world it takes place in. This story is set in an Earth in which humans found out about fantasy races and stretched the limits of technology to try and use magic themselves. This resulted in what many in the world refer to as the Calamity, a magical apocalypse where humanity messed with too many ley lines and tectonic plates. The resulting chaos not only destroyed many continents and caused a sickness that ended in a mass extinction event, but also erased much of the world's historic knowledge and technology. This sets the world in a period similar to the medieval ages, both technology buried throughout the lands and sunk within the seas. 5,000 years later, the disease is returning, and the player's job is to explore mysterious towers throughout the world, where ancient researchers tried to heal the sickness that the calamity brought. The player is drawn towards these towers, unlocking memories of a past life each time they complete one. This game also offers replayability, with unlockable races and further secrets, as well as an alliance system with different countries, towns, and races, changing gameplay each time.